Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Everything But the Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Source Rex. We're doing things a little bit differently this week. I don't have any guests or any special co-hosts. It's just me sitting here talking to you guys. It should still be a fun time, though. It probably won't be as long as an episode as it usually is, just because I don't have any guests to talk to. But the first thing I'd like to talk about today is this Area 51 trend that seems to be going all over social media. Everybody talking about raiding Area 51 this and raiding Area 51 that. I don't really know the full story of it, how it came to be, so to speak. I guess originally it was just supposed to be a joke, and then like millions of people or something have decided to do this. I don't know. It seems kind of strange to me, guys. It seems like it's not exactly the smartest thing to do. I mean, yeah, you might think that you can get past all of these well-trained soldiers in raid Area 51, but there's a way of a higher chance of getting injured or having some serious damage done to you by doing something like this. I just don't think it's the smartest idea. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if it's really a serious thing and people are really deciding to do this or not, but I would hope that you would think in your mind about a more safer option. If you're just hanging out in the desert having a party or whatever, that's one thing, but to really go to this level, I don't know. And then you went and you literally told them the exact date that you're deciding to do it and that you're planning it. If you don't think in today's day and age that our government knows everything that we're doing or watches and can hear and is keeping track of you, then I don't know what you've been living under, probably a rock. Because you've basically just told them everything that you're going to do. So even if you were playing this, you would think that if it was a real thing, you'd be a little bit smarter about it and probably try and keep it secret. I don't know how you do that, maybe by word of mouth instead of over social media, but that's just my 2 cents on the Area 51 thing. I don't know. I'm hoping it's just a joke, and I'm hoping we don't have in a couple months some serious thing go down and like all these people die or get hurt or whatever, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I know most of the people doing this probably don't want to get hurt. They just think it's kind of a cool thing or maybe a fun thing and they just want to jump on the bandwagon. But yeah, we're just going to leave that there. I'd like to know what you guys think. Be sure to get at me on Twitter and give me your thoughts on Area 51 and the whole situation there. Are you sick of the same old negative comments all the time on social media? Are you sick of the trolls and the cyber haters? The keyboard warriors, so to speak. The people that just constantly get on your nerves. They have nothing positive to say. All they ever do is complain about your content, get in your face, throw out insults, talk a lot of trash. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our friends at Whack-A-Troll have finally figured out a solution. Whack-A-Troll, the one service that can stop trolls permanently. If you have a troll who does not leave you alone, simply go to wackatroll.com, type in their username. The software that Whack-A-Troll provides will track down this troll, find all of their negative comments. If they show troll-like activities enough to where Whack-A-Troll is also annoyed, Whack-A-Troll will summon a mystical hammer from the skies and the heavens and smash all of their electronic equipment. If this troll seems to find another way to get a hold of you by another means, maybe someone else's electronic equipment, Whack-A-Troll will summon another mystical hammer from the heavens that will smash this troll into smithereens and take them through a portal to an alternate dimension where they will never be heard from again. Make sure you go to wackatroll.com today and get yourself signed up as soon as possible because there are a lot of requests. I should also make sure to note that if you are the troll and you are trying to sign up for Whack-A-Troll in order to troll another person and make them look like a troll, Whack-A-Troll software will find you. They know when a person is really being the troll and when a person is the recipient of a troll. And if you are the troll and you are just trying to do this as a way to bully someone else, then Whack-A-Troll will summon this same mystical hammer and will smash you to smithereens. You will not enjoy it. So please, be respectful, everybody. Love each other. Show some support. And remember, Whack-A-Troll, the one and only place that can stop trolls for good. I'd also like to talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I just picked the game up on last Friday when it came out. I picked it up from GameStop because I had it pre-ordered. And I love this game. It's a really cool game. I like the roster. There's a huge roster in the game and you can go through and select all your different characters. Obviously, mine being the anti-hero guy, I like Venom and Ghost Rider, and I kind of stick with Venom, Ghost Rider. Well, not really Venom so much because I like the character of Venom, but I don't really like his skill set as much in the game. Maybe as I level him up more and unlock more skills, I'll like him more, but I do really like Ghost Rider since unlocking him. And I also like Wolverine. I like his skill set, and of course Deadpool, which came with the expansion pack. If you got it, you got the immediate unlock with Deadpool. But yeah, I've just been kind of playing around, throwing different characters together, seeing what all they can do, going through the story. The story is absolutely amazing. If you're a Marvel fan, It's kind of the whole basic Thanos wanting to take over the galaxy, going after the Infinity Stones type of thing. It's kind of a story that's been told before, but it's being told differently in this game, so it kind of still makes it stand out. And of course, the inclusion of the X-Men, which haven't been in the game in I don't know how many years, and bringing them back into the story and the fold and mixing that all together is really, really cool. I definitely think you guys should pick it up. It isn't without its flaws, though. I did notice when I was trying to play with my wife on Saturday, at some point in time, we were playing a little bit. I noticed that whenever it got super chaotic in the New York City level, the screen would zoom out so far that you could not see anything at all. It literally zoomed out kind of, maybe it was just a glitch from my copy of the game, but it zoomed out outside the building, and the only thing you could see were the outside walls of the building, so you couldn't even see what you were doing. So in some moments when it gets a little chaotic, it's hard to tell which character you are if you're not fully focused, or it gets crazy. But solo, I haven't really noticed too much of that. I still have a few issues in some spots with the camera angles and things like that, but that kind of just comes with hack and slash games a lot of the time. Whenever they're that zoomed out angle, I usually prefer a closer up angle, which you can do. I think you could do the heroic angle or the classic angle, but I don't know. That's really the only flaw I've seen so far with the game. As far as the combat and the special moves and the roster, the game is just, it comes off without a hitch, and the story is really good. So yeah, if you guys haven't picked it up, be sure to pick it up. It's an awesome game for the Switch. I literally just bought the Switch a few weeks ago. I had it from Rent-A-Center for a while, and then I decided it was way cheaper for me to buy a Switch from GameStop than to be paying it over time at Rent-A-Center. So I took it back to Rent-A-Center, and then I went to GameStop and bought one. So now I have my very own Switch, which is pretty cool. And since then, I've picked up Super Mario Maker 2, another game that I've played a little bit of, but not a whole lot, just because I'm not very good at Mario. Mario is fun, but man, it's definitely a rage game if you're not very good at it. So I've played some of that. I just picked up Stardew Valley for the Switch this weekend as well. I've been kind of sick over the past few days. Yesterday I had a huge migraine, which is why I didn't get to record this when I wanted to, but I'm recording it now, so it's still cool. But you guys don't need to hear all about the migraine. So let me ask you guys something. You ever go tired of sending your family, your friends, your loved ones flowers year after year, holiday after holiday, just for them to die a couple days or a few weeks later? Have you ever sat down and actually thought about how much time and how much of a waste of time it is to do that? To buy these flowers and spend your good hard-earned money on these flowers just for them to die a few weeks later anyway? Like, what's the point? Why not just buy them pre-packaged, already withered, and save yourself the time and money for a cheaper price? Well, 1-800-DEAD-FLOWERS can do that for you today. If you give them a call at 1-800-DEAD-FLOWERS, they will give you 20% off your first order of withered flowers. They will send them straight to your door. You can send them to your family, deliver them to your family, whatever you want to do. You'll be happy. You'll save yourself money. You'll save yourself time. The flowers will be already withered. Hey, who knows? Maybe your family likes already withered flowers. Maybe they like dead things. I mean, you never know. Don't discriminate. Some people like dead things. Some people like withered things. And like I said, it's going to save yourself time and money. You might as well do it and give it a shot. 1-800-DEAD-FLOWERS, the one spot where you can buy your pre-made flowers and your pre-packaged dead flowers today. I do want to give you guys some pretty cool news. Coming very soon, a huge episode for Everything But the Podcast. Probably the biggest episode I've ever done in my history of podcasting. That would include Masters of the Underground. That would include all the stuff I did on YouTube before that. We are having a very special guest, Natasha from Fangoria, will be coming on the show. We're going to be talking about all things Fangoria, the history of Fangoria. We'll be talking about the magazine and how it's managed to stay relevant all these years. We'll probably talk about some horror, maybe some paranormal. We'll get her thoughts on a lot of things. I'm super excited for this episode. It's a huge honor. I really think you guys will enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. We'll be recording that soon, within a week or so expect that episode probably over the next few weeks, as long as nothing changes. So we're just a few weeks away now from that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie. Let me tell you guys, I cannot wait for this movie. I was a huge fan of those stories when I was younger. I wish I could find a way to get the prints of them again. I'm sure I can somewhere online, but man, if you were ever a fan of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, if you read them when you were younger, you know that they were like the premier, like awesome, scary thing to read. Them and like Goosebumps and stuff like that. But to see a live action movie and see those characters brought to life on the big screen is going to be so cool. I can't wait for this movie. Yeah, it's going to be huge, I think. I think a lot of people that remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from when we were a kid are really going to enjoy it. I don't know if any of you guys saw that Scary Stories documentary that was released. I can't remember if it was earlier this year or last year, but I watched it on Amazon Prime. It was pretty cool. It gave kind of a backstory into the author and the creator and had some interviews on there. It was a really cool documentary about the making of scary stories and how some states tried to ban scary stories and tried to get them taken out of school so kids couldn't read them because they were too scary. It was a pretty cool thing. I definitely think that this new movie is going to be awesome. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this movie? I know I am, and I guess that anybody who's like a huge fan of something like that is probably pretty excited. That's really the only scary movie I know of that's coming out this year. If you guys know of anything else that's coming out, be sure to tweet me at TonySaurusRex on Twitter and let me know, because it's possible that with all the work and everything I've been doing lately and everything that I've just been so busy, like I've just had so much going on that I haven't really watched a lot of TV, so I've probably missed a lot of trailers for things that are coming out. I still haven't even seen the newest Avengers that came out earlier in the year. I know that's going to be out on DVD in a couple weeks, so hopefully I'll be able to pick that up and finally get a chance to watch that. But yeah, I'm pretty behind on a lot of stuff. I'm behind on a lot of shows. I haven't seen Stranger Things Season 3 yet. I know I've heard a lot of good things about that, so hopefully I'm going to be able to watch that soon. But one thing I did end up getting was a couple weeks ago on PS4, I bought the UFC 3 game, and it allowed me to scan my face into the game and create like a UFC fighter that looked like me, and it was like a really cool thing. So it got me back into like the mixed martial arts aspects of things. If you guys know me, you know that I've always been a long time pro wrestling fan, but I was also a bit of a mixed martial arts fan for a while back in the days of like the Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture, like back then. So this game kind of brought that back to me, that I wanted to find some of those again. So I bought that UFC Fight Pass, and I've just been watching a lot of the old Ultimate Fighters with my wife, watching a lot of the old fights and the stuff that I remember whenever I was growing up that I was able to watch. It was some really cool content on there. I'm glad that I get to watch it. Now, watching that made me miss out on a lot of WWE and like wrestling stuff. Like I missed Extreme Rules last weekend. I'm not sure if it was even good, but usually I watch every pay-per-view every month. I wouldn't miss the show. Now I've been so busy watching other things and playing video games and getting this podcast underway that I missed out on a lot of stuff. So hopefully I can get back into that soon and maybe find someone else who enjoys some of the same things so that I can get someone on the show with me to talk about these things. But yeah, if you guys know of any of like the scary stuff and stuff like that, maybe some scary games that are coming out. I know that, what was it, a few weeks ago they just released a Blair Witch Project game on Xbox, I believe it was, Xbox and PC. So I'm actually looking to get an Xbox just so I can play that, because I remember the trailer for that just blew me away. It looked like an awesome horror game. And if you guys followed me from whenever I was streaming on Twitch, you know that I played that White Day, A Labyrinth Named School. I don't think I ever finished that one, but I also played Unforgiving and Northern Hymn, which turned out to be one of my favorite scary games of all times. I got a lot of really good jump scares out of that game, and I think that the Blair Witch game will be about the same. I think that game looks pretty cool. I hope it lives up to the hype for it from what I've seen. I don't know if there's any other horror games that are coming out this year. I know Death Stranding is coming out in November. I already have that pre-ordered. That's been a game that I've been hyped up for years. I know like Cyberpunk 2077 comes out next year. That's going to be a big deal. That's not really a horror game. That's more of like a science fiction, but still, these are games I know about that are coming out that I want to get my hands on. But yeah, right now it's just all the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Like I said, I can't get enough of that game. Sometimes I'm up way later than I should be, knowing I have to go to work the next day. Just playing that. I still haven't unlocked everybody. I still haven't even beat the story, and I've played it at least every day since Friday for at least a couple hours. I heard that the story is around like 8 to 10 hours long or something like that, and I still haven't finished it, so it'll probably take me a week or so, maybe, trying to squeeze in some of these little podcast episodes for you guys. You know what really grinds my gears, guys? Repetitive noises. You know, stuff like the click of a pen, someone tapping on the stupid freaking table. It makes me just want to grab my pen and shove it in your... Okay, let me calm down. Repetitive noises can be pretty irritating. I know a lot of people don't like the blinkers on cars. It just makes you want to grind your gears. If you guys have any more pet peeves you'd like to talk to me about, be sure to send them to me on Twitter so that I can use them on future episodes. I like talking about stuff like that, stuff that really bugs people, that makes them mad, makes me just want to... Makes me want to scream, makes me want to get in heavy metal mood, throw myself in a mosh pit, start punching and swinging my legs everywhere. Okay, maybe they don't really do that. I don't know. I've never been in a mosh pit. I've never actually jumped in the mosh pit. I've seen people come out of mosh pits with some bloody noses, maybe a couple broken bones. By myself, I've never gone in the mosh pit. But man, yeah, somebody just sitting next to you, say you're me right now, trying to record this episode of the podcast, and I got somebody standing next to me clicking a pen. Oh, that would bug me so bad. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how the most patient people in the world can sit there and just listen to somebody click a pen, tap on their desk, play their little drums, whatever the crap it is that they do in their daily activities without saying, "Would you just stop that before I punch you in the face?" Well, that's my rage moment for the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you again soon. We'll see what I get angry about next week. This is only the beginning of the week, so possible over the next few days something else will get me irritated, and we'll be able to talk about that. But for now, this has been Rex's Rage! So let me ask you guys another question. Every summer when it starts getting brutally hot and you gotta kind of cover yourself so you don't get sunburned, you smother your face, you smother your arms, your legs, your chest, and your back. But does anybody ever think, maybe I need a sunscreen for my booty? I mean, hey, you can get sunburn anywhere. It doesn't have to be your chest or your face, or it doesn't have to be a visible area. Some people might like to go to the beach naked, for all I know. Maybe they'll get sunburn on the booty. Well, Banana Butt has those people covered. If you visit bananabutt.com, you can get a nice little special bottle of Banana Butt specifically made for booties. It makes them shiny, it makes them look real nice, and makes them smell like bananas. So not only will your booty look nice and feel nice, it won't get sunburned, it'll also smell pretty too. Make sure you guys check out bananabutt.com for all of your booty-loving, booty sunscreen needs. Get yourselves all nice and healthy and shined up for your loved ones, however it is that you want to do it. All right, let's get into some comic book talk. I don't know if any of you guys remember of DC Universe. I know I became a huge fan of that Swamp Thing show that came on. It's super good. I'm like an OG fan of Swamp Thing. I was a fan of more of those obscure horror kind of comics. Like, I was a huge fan of Swamp Thing, a huge fan of Spawn. So to see another film, kind of like with the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, where it's seeing that comic come to life in a live action is really cool. I really dig the Swamp Thing show. I know the Harley Quinn animated cartoon is going to be coming out later this year. I think that's going to be pretty cool. It says it's going to be more for the adults. And that's something I've always wanted. Back in the 90s, I loved Batman the Animated Series because it had a darker tone to it. Even though you could be a kid and watch it, it still had a darker tone. I remember a couple episodes where it actually looked like Batman when it's almost going to die. And I thought those were some of the coolest things because they got so dark with it. And the storytelling was so good. I hope the Harley Quinn pulls off a lot of that same kind of, maybe the quirkiness of the character, because Harley Quinn has that certain quirkiness and comedy to her, but still be able to carry that same kind of storytelling that they had in Batman the Animated Series and those cartoons and shows from the 90s that I used to love. Another show I used to love from the 90s was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's literally the only Power Ranger show I've seen. I know there's been 50 other ones out there that have existed over time. If there's any other good ones that you guys think I should check out, let me know. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is obviously the one that I remember because I was born in 1987, so I grew up in the 90s. So a lot of that 90s trend of stuff is what I was checking out when I was a kid. I remember going to see the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and my mom taking me to see that when I was a kid. And I think as a kid, I liked it. But then when I got older, I tried to watch it again. And I was like, this movie is hot garbage. The show I can still watch even in all its cheesy gloriness, but that movie was just horrible. There just wasn't anything good about it. I mean, I don't know what it was. And it wasn't the actors from the series, because the guy that played as Tommy the Green Ranger, I loved his acting. I always loved the Green Ranger, and then I loved when he turned into the White Ranger. So it wasn't them. It was something about, I think it was Dr. Ooze was the name of the main villain in that. It was something about him and his character, and I don't know, it was just something, the special effects maybe were kind of cheesy. Like I said, maybe if I give it another shot, I'll like it. But another movie I really loved in the 90s was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I loved all of them, and those were super cheesy, but I still loved them. I loved the first one and the second one, and even the third one when they go back in time, I still thought was really cool. But I was a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I'd love to see them do a new version of the Ninja Turtles that was made in the style of the 90s. I know they did the live action kind of Ninja Turtles a few years back, but that CGI animations I was not happy with. I just thought it just didn't look good to me. I know for the new generation, for kids that are used to movies with CGI and a lot of stuff like that, it didn't bother them. But for someone like me that really appreciated that old school 90s feeling of the real martial arts putting themselves in the costumes and going through the motions, I don't know. There's something about that was just super cool to me, and I really loved it. I loved a lot of stuff from the 90s. But yeah, if there's any other movies coming out that I don't know about, like I said, I asked about any horror movies, but any movies in general that you guys are excited about, let me know. I'd like to maybe go watch some of these movies and talk about them on future episodes of the podcast or new shows. I'm sorry, guys, I got off a little topic there. We're supposed to be talking about comics, but I've subscribed to DC Universe, and then I recently subscribed to Comixology, which is run by Amazon. So I have a lot of source material for digital comics that I can go and read. And for a while there, I was reading a lot of stuff, getting really into it. And then I just got so busy that I didn't have time to read stuff. But there's something different, like when you get a printed version of a comic, there's something different about being able to hold that comic in your hand, see the artwork as was originally intended, and read the pages as they were originally intended to be read. There's something cool about that. There's something that stands out for that to me, or to probably all fans of comic books in general. There's something different about having that physical copy of a comic in your hand as opposed to reading it digitally. Reading digitally is cool when you're short on time and you just want to like flip on your phone, or say like when I'm on a break or something at work and I don't have anything to do and I'm not screwing around with video games on my phone or whatever, and I want to read a comic, then that's the perfect time because I can just open up the app on my phone and check them out and read whatever I want to read for that day, and it's pretty cool. But I did pick up a few comics. If anybody saw on Instagram recently, I picked up some cool comics. I picked up a 1940s, I believe, Wonder Woman, like a huge hardback that has like the war years of Wonder Woman. And I can't remember if I picked up Superman one or not. I can't remember. I picked up a couple things. I do have a Batman encyclopedia somewhere. I think it was Wonder Woman and Superman that I picked up. I don't think I have the Batman one, or if I do, I misplaced it, but it was pretty cool. I found them at Ollie's. They were only like $8, I think. And then I found a couple other things there that were $8. If you saw on Instagram, I posted the one that was the Harley Quinn comic, and it came with like a Harley Quinn mask that you could wear. So I threw that on just to goof off a little bit. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what other kind of comics come out this year. I've also been reading that Dark Knight's Metal. Like I said, I'm behind on comics. I didn't really get comics when I was a kid. Like, my parents didn't bring me comics. It's kind of the same thing that I'm going to talk about, like, with Fangoria magazine. All of that stuff kind of eluded me when I was growing up. The only really thing I had when I was growing up was, like, 80s metal bands, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest. Like, I was able to listen to music and stuff like that. But other than that, I remember to watch horror movies, I had to, like, watch them at a friend's house. Or, like, I didn't really have very many video game consoles. I remember getting the Nintendo 64 was the first one that I really had that I could thoroughly remember. But yeah, a lot of that kind of stuff eluded me as a kid. I don't really have many memories as a kid. Most of my memories are from my teenage years, which is when I really got into a lot of the horror stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed about me, but the first horror movie that I ever really watched like by myself, my mom bought me a copy of The Exorcist, the version you've never seen, when I was a teenager. And I remember watching that in the basement because that's where my room was at the time. And so I watched that in the basement with all the lights off completely by myself. And that was still to this day, burned memories in my mind of the scariest thing I've ever seen. I have not watched it since that day. I probably never will. I love scary movies, but that's one that I'm just like, nope, I'm not even going to screw with it. It was good enough one time. It was scary enough one time. I don't want to mess with it again, so it probably won't happen. But yeah, what would be your guys' scariest movie you've ever seen? I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. Again, just tweet me on Twitter. Let me know some cool scary movies. That's another thing I'd like to do on future episodes of the podcast when I'm hanging out with my friend Jeb. He's going to be on future episodes. He's not on this episode because I'm recording this after work tonight, but he'll be on some future episodes co-hosting with me, and we'll be hanging out. We want to kind of do some episodes that are kind of like a campfire vibe. Maybe we'll like write some campfire kind of scary stories and like tell them and maybe hang out. Give you guys like a cool little, I don't know, think about like Friday the 13th, like when at the camp when they did the campfires and they told the stories and then there was mass slaughter and so many crazy things happened. I think that'd be a cool idea for our future episodes, for us to like get together as friends and maybe find some more friends to bring in and do like group conversations and talk about scary things and like haunted areas and stuff like that. I think it would be pretty cool. I think you guys will enjoy it. But that's where we're going to end it today. I don't really have a whole lot more to talk about. Again, I guess it's because I don't really have any guests and I'm not used to just sitting here by myself and talking. Like it's not normal to me. I'm used to having somebody on the show with me to kind of go back and forth with. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, to say the least, and that you're looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully I will have somebody on the next episode. And again, don't forget to subscribe and follow to the podcast because I do have that huge episode with Fangoria coming up. I'm super excited for that. You guys have no idea. I've been running around all day telling everybody I could about this episode because this is probably the biggest thing I've ever done. I've interviewed huge artists in the past. I've interviewed Lex the Hexmaster from Magic Ninja Entertainment. I've interviewed Kung Fu Vampire, Gorilla Voltage, Whitney Payton, Wolfpack. I've interviewed the Rude Boy from Juggalo Championship Wrestling. So I've interviewed people like this before, and it's always been huge to me. So it's not like I don't have experience with huge things, but Fangoria is like a big deal. These guys have been around since 1979. They've been the premier horror magazine for fans of horror for years. So this is probably, out of everything I've done, this is probably the biggest thing I've done. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to be an epic episode. I know it's going to be a lot of fun talking about the history of Fangoria. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So make sure you guys check that episode out. Make sure that you remember to subscribe if you want to get auto downloads. You don't have to subscribe. You can just listen. I don't care. I appreciate the listens. I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to listen and download the episodes. It really means a lot to me because my goal for this show is to be able to uplift spirits. I want to be able to help you guys get that escape from daily life's activities and the chores I know that sometimes life can really kick you and get you down. And if you've been a long time follower of me, or even if you haven't, if you just follow me since Twitch, but if you follow me since Masters of the Underground, then you know that my goal for what I do has always been to try and provide people with that escape, that little bit of entertainment to help you get over the things in your mind, or help you to get over the daily activities that you're going through, and just provide you that escape, something to maybe laugh and enjoy or hang out with. Hopefully this show can do that. Maybe I won't be on par every single time. Not every episode is going to be perfect. I understand that. But I'm sure you guys are willing to work with me with that and see where this show grows in the coming future. So again, thank you to everybody who's been listening from this point, and to everybody who's listened from the very beginning and hopped on and supported me. I really love and appreciate all of you. You have no idea how much it means to me that you're giving me the time of day to check out my content. I really like doing this for you guys. I really like throwing in these little special things that I've included in this episode that you've heard, and that I'll include in future episodes. I want to try and give you guys, like I said, something to enjoy and something to entertain you. Whenever Jeb comes on, I think you guys will really like him. He is an awesome friend. He's a super cool dude. He's laid back. He's going to be more of the comedic relief. You guys see a lot of me where I'm like more serious. Yes, I have my comedic moments. I think having that friend that has that more laid back, relaxed lifestyle to bounce off with will jive really well together. I think you guys will enjoy it. He's someone who I was friends with at work before, and then I kind of fell out of touch whenever he wasn't working there, and then I wasn't working there. And then last year I came back to the job after they had let me go a couple years ago, and then this year he came back to the job. So it's kind of a cool thing. It's like we both came full circle, and then we were able to hang out on the 4th of July. He has a pool at the house he stays in, so we got to go swimming. We got to play a little bit of Nintendo Switch because he'd never seen a Nintendo Switch before. So it was something cool for us to do. But yeah, I think you guys really enjoy future episodes. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, stay Rexy, everybody.